Desta manhã, vamos falar sobre os desafios das marcas no momento de criar estratégias de marketing diferenciadas e centradas nos clientes. Um debate moderado por João Nunes, Digital Business and Marketing Consultant.
Good morning to you all, and thank you for joining us today on this fireside chat organized by ACEPI for their Digital Summit 2022. My name is João Nunes, and I'm delighted to be your host this morning, where we are about to talk how social listening helps brands create agile and competitive marketing strategies. With me, I have Vishesh Goyal, Senior Analytical Consultant and Digital Maturity Lead at Google Portugal, and actually the sole responsible for us conducting this debate in English, and João Pedro Cortinhas, CEO and founder of Swanky. We are going to talk about social listening and the importance it has on understanding consumers' behaviors and expectations. Market research is critical for all organizations. Whether you're a new entrant in the market or an established brand, exploratory research of your market will help you understand your potential customers, your industry, and more. In simple terms, it is the process of gathering information about consumers, their needs, their likes and dislikes, and preferences. When listening to social media, you don't need to rely on pricey focus groups or run in-depth interviews. So social media listening not only is a way to collect huge chunks of data, but it's also a very cost-effective way to do that. You can use the power of public conversations online to collect huge amounts of valuable customer data, and with it, you'll be able to generate social media sentiment and conduct thorough market research. So let's jump right in. Welcome, Vishesh. Welcome, João. Actually, João, my first question is to you. So Swanky actually exists to facilitate this process, reuniting under a single platform the capability to manage social media campaigns, generate reports, competitive benchmarks, and also perform social listening. So can you please describe us how companies are using Swanky and some of the benefits it generates for those companies?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, thanks for the invite to be here. It's a pleasure to be here on the stage with you guys. Nowadays, social media is an asset for companies, for businesses, and all the people understand the power of social media in terms of to interact, to create relationship with the potential buyers on digital area. And all the businesses, all the brands that have that want to scale their sales need to be in this type of area. However, social media, it's a noisy world. So many content out there, so many interactions. How can we measure or manage it in efficient way? So, and this is where Swanky have a fundamental role to help these players get the job done. So planning in social media, I think there are three rules that are critical for every players. Content strategy, planning their content strategy, measure their results, and social listening. Okay, so in terms of social listening, I think that in Portugal we need to do a long run to get and to understand the powerful of social media listening. We get reports in Swanky. We collect data through different social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so on. And this kind of data give to our users the power to understand and transform this data in insights to improve their performance on social media. However, getting these insights, it's only 50% of the job. Okay, and why? Because this is a react way to understand the movement in social media. The proactive way is to do social media listening, okay, and to understand what movements, what insights the market, the segment give to the brands, to the businesses. And I think the main reason that we need to implement social media listening in our companies, in our businesses, because give us the power to understand the market, to understand what, for example, imagine our potential clients or our clients are talking about our brands, and most important, what they feel about our brand.
Let me just ask you just a follow-up question on that. Sorry, you mentioned that we still have a long way to go in Portugal. Why is that? Are you comparing with foreign markets? Do you think it's a matter of scale or it's a matter of skills?
Yeah, I think that it's because of the mindset that we have. Because today, in terms of social media management, we assume that basically do social media, it's like write some posts and do reports for our clients. You know, this is a very critical point, but it's my opinion. And I think that we need to improve our mindset, to go further, to get more insights, to think.
Be more customer-centric.
Yeah, in a strategic way.
Perfect.
In this kind of market. And for example, social media listening, it's a powerful tool, not just to understand what our clients or potential clients are talking about our brand, but understand the lacks, the gap in the market. For example, I have a user or a potential buyer that are talking about a product that they need to solve some problem. And if I do social media listening, I can listen this kind of insights and transform this in a product.
Perfect. Thank you, João. Vish, actually, João was talking a lot about the information that we can find on social media networks, but actually, information about consumers, they don't appear on social media platforms alone, right? So can you tell us about the ways Google can help brands and organizations in general in this matter? What kind of information do you have access to? Where can we find it? Sure. And what kind of projects can we do with that?
Sure. So firstly, thank you so much for inviting me. It's an honor and a privilege. So, I mean, as we discussed, there are many, many channels today in which people can go and express themselves, be it social media or other platforms, right? Like, to give you some examples, you might have heard of websites like the Yelp, Zomato, The Fork, or even Google Maps, where, well, if you're going for a dinner on a Friday night, what do? Well, we open some of this and we look at reviews. We listen to what other people have said. Not only does that help us make the decision of going there, after that, we can also leave a review to understand and to give feedback to that company and to that business and that organization, right? Now, using that as an example, what we did very similarly is I worked recently with a large Portuguese consumer electronics store company, and they're an omni-channel player. And what omni-channel means is they have an online website, but they also have physical stores across Portugal. As we know that when we're buying online, we do have this natural tendency of researching online, purchasing offline, ROPO, right, as we call it. And what has happened since COVID is that this phenomena has just accelerated even more. And along with it, we have brought up new sort of tendencies and new consumer behavior For example, people are searching online, and then we have ads which are showing, oh, hey, this ad is available 1 kilometer away in this store, or this product is available. Or now you can even buy online and pick it up in a store which is very close to you, right? And with all of this, what we've done is we've collated and curated all of the reviews that people leave on Google Maps on these stores. So, for example, if small businesses, small and medium and large businesses have Google My Business, the Google Business Profile, and there they can extract and absorb all of the reviews that people leave, right? And they can listen to how the consumer experience has been, both in their store, online, or even omni-channel as a whole. And in this project, we realized a lot of different insights that, hey, we might think that the reviews are only for the store, but they're actually not. Because as a consumer, we see the brand as the brand. We do not sort of silo them into the online company or the online team, the offline team, or the customer support team. We as a consumer just want an outlet to give feedback. And these reviews is that outlet, and you'll see a very interesting mix of reviews on products not being available, or offline stores being really, really great, or customer support not being top-notch. So they're a very mixed bag of reviews where the C-levels can actually curate, analyze, listen, and understand how they can have a competitive advantage by actually responding to the feedback of these consumers.
And that actually comes to show that we as a consumers, we are definitely looking for omni-channel experiences. We don't care if the brand is online or offline or whatever, right? Very good. And actually the experience we have in the one platform may as well influence the experience we have and the general sentiment we have about the brand overall.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you for the example, Vish. João, back to you. We on the previous question we discussed about how the gap that exists, and I actually asked you if you thought there was a matter of skills. So coming back to that point, skills. What kind of companies do use your platform? What kind of organizations are we talking about that may benefit from Swanky? And not only that, but what kind of skills do they need to have in place, or what kind of users do use your platform? Can you give us a few examples as well?
Yeah, for sure. Mainly 90% of our clients are agencies, publishers, and brands. And our main stakeholder is the social media manager that are executing the strategy, the content planning, that are always creating their content and put them on social media channels, including Google My Business. But I think that in terms of skills, I think that, and in the other question, I told you that it's the mindset. Mm-hmm. Here, I think that it's the strategic thought about what is the best content, what makes sense for this brand or not. Is not, as I told you, is not about just write some posts. Is more than that. Is to understand and have a clinical eye to the results, understand the hot points in terms of social media, what is viral or not viral, understand the engagement rate, what kind of content create more value for our social media channels. For example, today we are developing a framework for social media managers. It's a goal that we have, develop the main framework that every social media managers can use everywhere. And basically, from the planning to the insights, I think that the most important thing is understand the consumers and understand that the content can't be just content. You need to deliver value to your followers, to create a better experience in social media. Because, as I told you, so many posts every day, the engagement is lower every day. The social media platforms want that the businesses put more money on the content. So this is a critical point for social media channels, I think. But in terms of skills, I think that is the strategic way, and the thoughts that we need, get insights from the content. I think that it's the main skills that a social media manager today, of course, create a good copy. It's very important, but understand the insights that the market are giving them. In terms of examples, for example, in a brand or in an agency, the main goal, the main purpose is create content. For example, the agency is to create reports to send to their clients and to prove that they are doing their job. But, for example, one of our clients here in Portugal is WPP. And WPP use very, very hard social media and web listening. And, for example, we are always developing more features, more value for them, because they really understand the power of social media listening strategy. But, for example, in a publisher like Impresa, Radio Renascença, Media Capital, the main goal is put the content out there. So many content are producing by their journalists, and the main goal is put the content out there. But, for example, in an agency, of course, the metrics, the KPIs are important, but the planning and when you how can I say this? But, for example,
the strategic planning part.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but not the
strategic thinking.
Sorry, yeah, but not only the strategic part, but get the feedback from their clients. Get the insight that, okay, the content is good. You can put in social media. I think that it's the main goals for different players that we assist the users are using Swanky.
Very good, thank you. Fish, I mean, I think it was pretty obvious that from what João just described, I mean, there's a bunch of skills that are becoming very, very important nowadays. The analytical skills, the strategic skills that João described. But one thing that became very obvious was that João was talking about the users mostly in the marketing department, right? Mm-hmm. I would just like to understand that from that project you mentioned before, what kind of users was that information helpful to, right? Was just marketing alone, or was there any way to use that information actually to break down silos inside the company?
Absolutely. So, I mean, as I was mentioning that, when we were analyzing the reviews were very interesting, and they touched multiple departments, right? There were some people that were giving positive/negative reviews of the online world, of the website experience, some folks of their offline stores, and even through customer support. You'd be surprised on how many people are like, they had no other channel or outlet, and that they came here to Google Maps and they left a review. And what's additionally interesting is that because we extract all this data from the back end directly, we're able to split everything, by store, by region, by all different slices and dices of cuts, and we can provide this information back to the company. And the different stakeholders that were involved are the online team, because they are the ones that we are using those reviews and driving traffic to the stores. And there were a lot of reviews around inconsistencies, for example, in products, or even amazing reviews that, hey, you know, we love your brand. It's been an amazing experience. So that's really good feedback for the online team. Another piece of feedback that we got, the second bucket, was around the offline teams and the store managers across different regions of Portugal. And this feedback that we can provide to them is now, instead of looking at the brand as a whole, you're able to slice and dice and understand if there are certain stores in certain regions that have certain issues or don't have certain issues, right? If the sentiment, by listening to what folks are saying in the reviews, are they having a great omnichannel experience? Are they not having a great omnichannel experience? So this helps the C-level understand and pinpoint areas of opportunity and areas of improvement within the entire country. And third is of course the customer feedback team, or the customer support team. Because as a C-level, I would love to understand that why I have created these channels for support. Why are those channels not being used as much as I would like to, while what I originally thought this channel was, which is the Google Maps reviews, is being used for something else. So sort of understanding what's happening, what is the customer sentiment, and just giving the C-level that insight that customers see you as a brand, as a company, and they would like a seamless experience across all channels. And we have to ensure that brands provide this experience, be it online, offline, you know, after sales support, the entire customer journey. So that I feel really helped bring all these different departments together and help the C-level get that overarching vision of the entire journey, and how, you know, we cannot work in silos. We have to work together as one big team.
That's perfect. Thank you, Vish, and thank you, João, as well. Just as a wrap up, I think I just hope this conversation was helpful to show to all of you attending this debate how social media listening and being proactive in terms of understanding your consumer, what's happening in the market in terms of trends, understanding your consumers' likes and dislikes, and general preferences, even outside of your brand ecosystem, is helpful to anticipate movements and actually to develop a more customer-centric approach and a more relevant experience for your consumers. And with relevance, we are living in the age of relevance, comes for sure improved business results. So I would like to thank you again to all of you who are attending, and to ASEPI for the invitation, and a good morning to you all.